Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back from the dead for like the 69th time. It is your host with the most, Avery LR32 here, bringing you guys another nekroz discussion video. But this one's going to be a little bit different. This isn't a deck profile or anything. This is just a simple discussion video about the tier 0 status of nekroz. Are they actually tier 0? Now, we saw this back in the Dragon Ruler format with Super Rejuve, and pretty much even without the Super Rejuves after it got banned. And we saw this trend of basically the deck was easy to build, and that's the question I have for you guys today is, do you think either A, nekroz are just an easy deck to build, like ratio-wise, or do you think it's just a flat-out tier 0.5 deck? Because I consider it not tier 0. There are ways to beat it. You know, against Burning Abyss, you know, obviously it's just going to be a shutout. But against Cleafort, you know, if they can get their field set up and they go first and they open up the Bojangle nuts, I mean, it's pretty much GG. Like, you really can't do anything against it. Now, compare that to me opening up the Bojangle nuts against this Yosenju guy I just got done playing against. I mean, I wrecked his ass 2-0 in like 10 minutes. Like, it happens sometimes. Like, game 2, I opened up my side deck. Like, I side decked into Mind Crush, and I opened up a Mind Crush, and he went first, played Tenki, got Kama 2. Next turn his Kama 2 was gone, and I had a Valkyries on board, and I had a Gungnir that I added anyway. Besides the point. You get the point. Even though I just said besides the point. But you get what I mean. So, the whole discussion that I want to make around this is that we're seeing all these typical things. Like, whenever you see a nekroz deck profile, you immediately think, okay, they're obviously, you know, running either Dance Princess or Archmage, 3 Senju, 3 Manju, and 1 or 2 Shrit. Well, same thing with the Dragon Ruler format. When you saw a Dragon Ruler deck profile, you immediately thought, okay, they're running, when we had the babies, they're running probably 2 of each baby, 3 of each big dragon, blah, blah, blah. You know, the ratios were very similar. There really was no change to it. Kind of like how Capital G, when he made his video saying, you know, building Dragon Rulers isn't that hard. You have 3 of the big dragons, which is, what, 12 cards, and then you have 3 Super Rejuves, that's 15, and you got this and that, and, like, he went through the whole deck in, like, 2 minutes, and he was at, like, 30 cards. Like, there was really no room to have any sort of, you know, techs, unlike this build that has, like, I guess you could say 2 techs, that being Phantom of Chaos and Rhoda, excluding the side and extra. So, again, it's almost like there's very little player preference type of things when playing this deck. And that's what I want to run through with you guys today. Like I said, whenever you think of a nekroz deck profile, you immediately think, or even whenever you go to build nekroz, you immediately think, okay, I'm either going to run Dance Princess or Archmage, and then I obviously have to run 3 Senju and 3 Manju, that's 7 cards. I'm going to run 1 to 2 Shrit, most likely 2, because I want to be able to get the 1 card tribute, so that's 6, 7, 9. You have to run at least 1 Trish, because no more than that can kind of screw you over, so that's already 10. You're either going to run Gungnir or Decisive Armor, so that's 11. You have to run 3 Brios, that's 14. You kind of have to run 3 Unicorns, that's 17. You're most likely going to be running 1 you're most likely going to be playing 2 Colossalos. Those can vary, so 1 to 2, so that's like, what, 15, 16 cards, somewhere around that ballpark. And even the ritual spells themselves, I mean, they can vary. Usually people play 2 of each. I've seen some people play just 3 of the mirror and then 2 kaleidoscopes and 2 cycles. That can somewhat depend on the player preference, or moreover what you prefer to use most of your games, or what your deck really revolves around the most. So that can vary. You might not play 2 Dark Hole and a Raigeki. You usually see more of Double Book of Eclipse in the main instead of Raigeki and Double Dark Hole, and you usually don't see Rhoda. But then you have to run Triple Preparation of Rites, you have to run Triple MST, and you have to run 1 Book of Moon. That's just kind of the norm. So already things that you absolutely have to run is 1, that's 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Depending on which one, between Decisive Armor and Gungnir, that's 13. Trish is 14. You're pretty much going to be running 2 to 3 Valkyries, so that's 16 or 17. 3 Brios, that's 20. 2 Colossalos, we'll say that's 22. Maybe 1 Dark Hole, 21, 3 MST, 24, 3 Preparation of Rites, 27, Book of Moon, 28, Snatch Steal, 29, you're already at 29 cards there. There's only 11 cards left, and you're probably running, since what most players are doing anyway, going by that of what most players are doing, 2 of each ritual spell. So that's 6 cards. So 29 plus 6, 31, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's like what, 30? Yeah, 35 cards. So there's only 5 of the cards left. Double Book of Eclipse, 37. Yeah, then there's 3 other cards for you to throw in there. You see what I mean? Like I just went through the deck, like an entire build in like a minute, and it just required no thinking. There was really no sort of player preferences. There's an established build that players will go by. Now, granted, there's going to be some text in the extra deck and some text in the side, and all that does come down to player preference. Like, you know, instead of running Barbaroid, maybe you'll run Rainbow Neos like they've been doing in OCG, but I'm running Phantom of Chaos, so I'm going to run Barbaroid because then I can do 2,000 points of effect damage once I attack both monsters. Anyways, I'm going off topic, but you see the point. The deck is very easy to build. When the deck first came out, you were seeing Rhoda, and then it just kind of fell off the map because people realized that Rhoda really wasn't needed. Like I said, Rhoda was not needed. I don't even think that Rhoda is needed in this build, in case you haven't realized by now. This is the London build that came in first place at their regional there. And I still don't really feel that Rhoda is necessary. I feel like I either A, draw this late game, or I just never draw it. Like, I rarely ever see it. And on top of that, too, I only have 3 targets, so it's just like, what am I doing with this card? But it seems to work overall, and again, that's kind of one of your few texts that you can throw in here. And personally, I don't like Book of Eclipse. I think it's a garbage card. I understand the point behind it because it's good in the mirror match, but Book of Moon does that for you, and it doesn't let your opponent freaking draw. Like, I was playing against Burning Abyss on I almost said DA, DN, and freaking the guy drops Rubik and Farfa, and I'm like, okay, on your Farfa, I'm going to Book of Eclipse you. Well, he's got double Dante and Rubik, Farfa, and some other card. So at his end phase, he just drew 5 cards. Like, he didn't even attack or anything. He just, all of his monsters face down, flipped them all up, and drew 5. And I just lost because he had the more hand advantage. And if it weren't for the Book of Eclipse, then our hands would have pretty much been the same size, which would have probably been about 2 or 3 cards. So I just don't like Eclipse at all. But that's me as a player preference. Again, that's like what the second thing that I've said is a player preference out of this entire main deck that I've already made out of 37 cards that I just listed off. So again, this is excluding the extra in the side deck because those things will vary. Yes, I know that some people aren't even using Dance Princess at all. Some people are main decking 2 or 3 Maxis, but those are more techie things and what players expect. Again, it comes back to the tech side of things, of how you know, people will have different tech choices, but like the solidified things that you know that they're going to run, for example, 3 Manju, 3 Senju, etc. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this deck is just easy to build and there's just some neat text that people throw in, or is it more like a Dragon Ruler sort of thing where it's just, it's obvious because it was the best deck of the format sort of deal? Hopefully I was able to get my point across in this video. I'm kind of rusty from not making videos for, like, what has it been, a month? I've been very busy with school. I graduate in 37 days. Or not 37 days, I'm sorry. 37 more school days until I graduate. Starting Monday will be 36. So May 8th is my last day, and yeah, it's been crazy. But anyways, I know you guys don't want to hear about that. I'm going to probably make a vlog or an update video about that. But yeah, and I actually finally bought 3 Brios. Oh, I should have bought some lube for my wallet. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and take care.